record by returning to power in an alliance for an unprecedented third consecutive time, is clearly not happy with falling short of the standards it set for itself. The RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat has offered a reason by seeming to indicate that the Saffron Party, led by Narendra Modi, may have got afflicted by hubris. Bhagwat pointed out that a person committed to serving the public never puts himself above and beyond the call to duty, and especially not beyond the aspirations of the voter. While it's not clear, viewers, exactly who he was addressing, the Prime Minister, BJP cadre, or a combination of both, or perhaps, viewers, the opposition, many people have chose to interpret this as a direct message for the BJP. Listen in for yourself.
कामों से अपने आप को बांध ले, कर्तव्य समझकर करे, लेकिन बांधकर भी निर्बंधा रहे, काम करे, लेकिन मैंने किया ये अहंकार न पाले, तो हम इस देश की सच्ची सेवा कर रहे ऐसा होगा। और अपने देश को, हम सब लोगों के सच्चे सेवा की आज आवश्यकता है और विश्व को भी आवश्यकता है।
As Bhagwat was making his dispassionate observations, another senior RSS critical thinker and author, Ratan Sharda, was weighing in with his own opinion in the hallowed pages of the RSS magazine, The Organizer. Sharda, who is known to speak his mind, feels that the BJP cadre was overconfident, which bred a sense of complacency. He also rightly writes that several senior BJP functionaries, especially a number of MPs or members of parliament, had become unapproachable. He writes, and I quote him, "Results of the 2024 general elections have come as a reality check for overconfident BJP karyakartas and many leaders. They didn't realize that Prime Minister Modi ji's call of 400 plus was a target for the BJP and a dare to the opposition. Targets are achieved by hard work on the field, not sharing posters and selfies on social media. Since they were happy in their bubble, enjoying the glow reflected from Modi ji's aura, they were not listening to voices from the ground," unquote. That is Ratan Sharda for you, viewers. And I apologize for putting the wrong photograph there. That was not supposed to be Mohan Bhagwat, that was supposed to be Ratan Sharda. But nonetheless, viewers, you get the drift. That was the honest assessment by Mr. Ratan Sharda. The brutal, honest feedback can only do the BJP a world of good. The RSS view should serve to bolster the conclusions that the BJP draws from its own honest examination of the poll debacle. Committees have been set up in different states to affix accountability. Judging by the past ruthlessness of a system that exalts no one, expect heads to roll at the organizational level very soon, viewers. But then, the BJP is a party that is run like a corporation, where the only responsibility is to the shareholder, which, in the BJP's case, happens to be the voter, happens to be you, viewers. This is in direct contrast to the Congress that famously buried the A.K. Antony Committee report on the debacles it has suffered because the findings came close to indicting the leadership. The leadership in the Congress is, of course, a euphemism for the Gandhis themselves. While the party has done better despite the report, it didn't succeed in dislodging the BJP, even though Modi was facing 10 years of anti-incumbency. But if you thought the Congress is smarting from the defeat the BJP has inflicted upon it, then at least in public there is no indication of regret. The party's most charismatic vote-getters, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Vadra, are taking a virtual victory lap of Uttar Pradesh even as we speak, viewers. The Congress managers are smug in the knowledge that they denied Modi a clean sweep. In fact, the Congress routinely says that the BJP has lost the right to govern. This is, of course, an odd view to take, given that the NDA has won the election fair and square. But let's just quickly recall what the Congress machinery has been saying. This is Jairam Ramesh He said that the drum beaters will look for anything to justify Narendra Modi's pathetic electoral performance in 2024. That's Jairam Ramesh for you viewers. Rahul Gandhi says, voters have punished BJP. I was confident that the people of the country would give the right response, unquote. Viewers, let's open this up. This is a fascinating discussion because for the first time, we can call a spade if one wants to go there. RSS researcher, author Ratan Sharda with us. Mr. Sharda, I don't believe that you could have been more honest in your assessment. I agree with a large number of points, and I'm sure that there are people here who, if they are well-wishers of the BJP, will agree with you. But Mr. Sharda, what drove you to this conclusion? Give us a bit of a background of your own assessment of the BJP's performance here.
See, Rahul, thanks for having a discussion of the issue. And this comes from the fact that I have been lifelong supporter of Bharatiya Janata Sangh, BJP. I have been critical many times, as you know, and I have not ever tried to cut corners with my beliefs. And the urge that BJP should remain strong and be in a powerful driver's seat has made me write this, because I had seen this during my last few, elections were moving around in India for different reasons. I talked to various people, RSS, BJP, etc., and feeling was same, that there is a lack of two-way communication between the top leaders and the middle-level leaders and the local people. And there is more of, the confidence of, riding on Modi ji's shoulder rather than doing their own job on the work. This selfie-age workers, which I call them in my article, are people who believe that they can put some selfies with some leader, some person going to one area and claiming 10x kind of returns, where they've seen only success. For the last 10 years, they've seen nothing but success. The very glare of Modi ji's victory has blinded them to the fact that social media is not society. For that, you have to go to meet people. When all the negative propaganda was going on, at that time, BJP workers didn't catch it, or they didn't bother, or if they bothered, they pass it on the message. If they passed on the message, did the leadership get it? Because the serious fake news that has spread around, for which BJP lost nearly 9 to 10% of SC/ST votes, lost nearly 23 seats, and Congress got a benefit of 53 seats. This extreme polarization of Muslims vis-a-vis breaking of the Hindu society in caste was something that could have been seen by the people on the street, that was missing. And as I said, the comfort that we'll win anyway, because see, people like us have seen the worst times when getting 500 votes for Janata Sangh was supposed to be achievement. Deposit bach gaya, kya baat hai. From there, then thrown out of Janata Party, insulted time and again, despite having worked for them with full force. That was first time we as youth really got disappointed that we believed that all these leaders had feet of clay. From there, this 1984 to see 2 seats, rising to that particular seat numbers, and RSS doesn't interfere. I'll give one example if you have less time. In 1984, when Vajpayee and Advani ji coined the slogan of Gandhian socialism, Rajmata Scindia talked on the dais itself, and RSS people were very upset. They talked to Bala Saheb Devras. They told them, "ये क्या चल रहा है Bala Saheb? ये कहाँ से आया ये Gandhian socialism? Integrally उन्होंने कहाँ गया?" He said, "See, they are our colleagues. They have worked hard for this party. They know what is right in politics. Let them do what they are trying to do." And I am very sure then after a pause he said, within 2-3 years they'll return to Hindutva. Then of course we know the history, Advani ji going ahead.
Though in the constitution of the BJP you still have the words Gandhian socialism.
Yes, true. Yeah. But they have the BJP has been able to reinvent itself, gone to the grassroots, changed the entire scenario. You will also know that Advani ji, when he became president after the setbacks, he sought again RSS cooperation, and RSS happily gave them the pracharak which they wanted at that time. From there to the position where Sangathan Mantri positions are lying empty, where Sangathan Mantri have gone back. So there is something which is not being appreciated by BJP workers themselves. I have got calls from BJP, from RSS workers, and they are very happy that somebody has put the issues on the table for discussion. I'm very sure
what's been the response, Ratan Sharda ji? What's been the response from the BJP?
I've been busy responding to RSS work, BJP workers from the ground, BJP workers, mid-level leaderships, people who have been spokespersons, they have called saying that बहुत ही बढ़िया है, आपने अच्छा किया लिखा, और बहुत कार्यकर्ताओं के मन में यही है. And I get the big, see, we have been so sensitive to the ground workers' emotions that we know. In fact, I was talking to another channel where somebody in MP last time when I went there said, बहुत बुरा हाल है, बहुत प्रॉब्लम है, बीजेपी के लोग सड़क पे नहीं आ रहे, काम नहीं कर रहे, उनको पता है कि झक मार के संघ तो जिता ही देगा. दैट इज द रीजन आई सेड, जो काम करना है बीजेपी को पोल बूथ लेवल पर, or getting the people on to vote is different from what RSS does in working people to go
can
out
I ask
and vote.
you, Mr. Sharda, this is a peculiarly different culture, because I know that a lot of other people who've questioned, for example, the Congress party were labeled, pushed into a corner, reviled, and then some were externed from the party, as you know, others remained suspended. So I want to ask you, where does this openness or this desire to perhaps course correct stem from? Is this inherent sense of democracy, or is just a fear that you might actually lose power, and that is what sort of, self-interest that drives you? What is it exactly?
No, see, in fact, I believe that this small, this setback that BJP has received of a blessing in disguise. I had believed that this kind of issues might erupt in 2029. Luckily, Modi ji is around at 2024. I'm very sure they've got time to recover and they'll bounce back. And that's why I gave you the history of BJP's bouncing back. And this idea of openly discussing issues has been culture of the RSS also. Though they believe in consensus for every resolution, every discussion, but before that, there is huge discussion. That is the reason I believe that this will be taken in the right spirit. Not one BJP leader has called me saying, "Aapne kya likh dala." That much I can tell you.
Well, that's very heartening to know, because if you have to improve, if you have to do better, you've got to be able to basically assess the problem. And the only way you can assess the problem is by holding up the mirror to yourself and asking the right questions, which Ratan Sharda is doing effectively. Let me bring in senior journalist Shekhar Iyer, who's covered, of course, the BJP in his long, glittering career. Mr. Raja Gopalan, of course, another person who needs no introduction, knows the BJP inside out. Let me bring you, both of you gentlemen in. First, Mr. Iyer, what makes the BJP different from other political parties in this context specifically?
Well, Rahulji, the fact that this has been a huge setback, this is not going to be just forgotten or pushed under the carpet. Once the government settles down to work, the Prime Minister and other BJP leaders are going to examine constituency-wise, assembly segment-wise, as to what has really happened, where we went wrong, where we missed the message, where did we lose steam, and what went wrong with our campaign, where we hard on some issues, did we neglect some issues, or did we cause some reactions which backfired? All those things are going to be gone into. And one thing we must understand, from the way I have interacted with RSS leaders and their leadership, whenever Mohan Bhagwat ji speaks, his concern is not just the political setback for the BJP. It is also the social impact, because RSS is most concerned with what is happening in the society. Election campaign of the sorts that we saw in 2024, what kind of impact that it leaves on the social polity. See, that is of bigger concern. For instance, his remarks on Manipur. So it has been made out as if this is the first time he has spoken. It is not so. RSS had a number of interactions and feedback from Manipur. In fact, they have a setup in Imphal. And there have been concern as to why the situation in Manipur deteriorated to this extent. Particularly, what has been happening, the religious conversions in the northeast, and also the kind of demographic impact in the valley and in the hills. These are some issues that, the fallout is political after some time, but the social impact or the social reactions have started much before the political comes to the scene. So, coming back to the main question, will BJP really do introspection? Yes. Will there be course correction? Yes. And I can tell you something, the Prime Minister himself, being a Swayamsevak himself and an organizational man of the BJP, he is not just going to forget this. He has main tasks ahead, particularly this 100-day program and things like that. But deep down, he is going to set time aside. And once the BJP chooses the new president, all these things are going to go deep into. losing seats like they did in Uttar Pradesh is not a small thing. And also, the kind of approaches they took in Maharashtra, bringing people from other parties. Now, were these all correct course? Because the point that I think there is an implicit message in Mohan Bhagwatji's remarks is also, politics is a means. And if the BJP has to be a party with a difference, which it was how it started, but subsequently it has been found that some of the methods that BJP has adopted to win elections are no different from other political parties.
Yeah.
Is this good in the long run? These are some pointers which are implicit in Mohan Bhagwatji's latest remarks. And I can tell you one thing, RSS role in elections, as far as it's just, they continue to seek 100% participation.
Well, I'll come to that.
By full voter participation.
We'll take
That's
that up.
the only extent they run a campaign.
Okay,
Otherwise, they are not bothered about, they don't distribute BJP bill notices to voters. They don't do that.
They don't do that. No, we'll come to the RSS role specifically in just a few moments. But Mr. Rajagopalan, the culture of selfless, self-critical introspection in the BJP is a little different from other parties specifically. And why beat around the bush? Specifically from the Congress, which is its sworn rival. Why is this so?
The reason is, Rahul, as I understood, and Shekhar must be more educated on that, because ahankar, the word Mr. Mohan Bhagwat used, is very terminology. And Mr. Narendra Modi's speech at Central Hall of Parliament after being elected, Sabhyata. So if you compare these two, I differ from Mr. Ratan Sharda, though he has a good intention. I also have a good intention. But as the things moved, RSS did not like the induction of congressmen into the party. Very clearly, I'm telling you. Second thing, in 2014 to 2019, you inducted RSS ideologues as governors. You gave them space. But after that, in 2014 to 2019, the election of that and induction of others, conglomeration also caused heartburns in the RSS mind. And JP Nadda's statement also aggravated further. And moreover, it is not the first time. Every Vijayadashmi speech, Mr. Mohan Bhagwat has been wanting this ahankar to be controlled. And take opposition on board. And moreover, Mr. Rahul Shivashankar, Narendra Modi won with 353 seats in 2019 to 2024. And the SPG withdrawal. And second thing, not invite Sonia Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi to the state banquets or PM residence functions. And moreover, the courtesy of Sonia Gandhi also went wrong, because the family could not make out Narendra Modi sitting in the vituperative angle of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi also added more, and that created problem. Politically, I'm telling you, what Shekhar said about this, the ideologues of yesteryears, but the short dearth of leaders. And moreover, I can vouchsafe, Mr. Rahul Shivashankar, Narendra Modi, Mr. Mohan Bhagwat, Mr. Amit Shah, and the new president of BJP will sit together once the election is made, and the general secretary in charge of the organization. This time is going to be not B.L. Santosh. He played politics, I have B.L. Santosh. We cannot ignore that. Karnataka lost because of B.L. Santosh. And you can't now you can blame B.L. Santosh, but not that. RSS also distancing slowly from the culture of BJP, because there are certain differences at the top level you have to iron out. That fatigue is there in the RSS as well as in the BJP, both. I can see that. So therefore, coming to the real problem, yesterday, Mr. Mohan Bhagwat, I expected Mohan Bhagwat to announce, appreciate that Narendra Modi induction of that one Christian in the ministry. It's all RSS work. They did in Kerala. That is why Narendra Modi recognized. If Mr. Mohan Bhagwat acknowledged that, it would have been much more than his words of ahankar.
Okay, it's interesting. But let me quickly ask you once again, Mr. Rajagopalan, you talked about accountability. Now, when was the last time that accountability was set after a poll debacle? I think in the BJP that culture is very, very strong, and we've seen it. Can you, for the viewers, give a few examples?
It happened even day before yesterday at the highest level, but not very open. They meet, talk, and everything they exchange views. And second thing, Ratan Sharda also quoted "Apki baar 400 ki par." राहुल शिवशंकर मैं एक चीज कहना चाहता हूं, if that was not hyped, even BJP would not have got the 240.
Yeah.
Pathetic situation was there on ground level. And you can't ignore Yogi Adityanath, who has done human service. And moreover, RSS got all the issues settled. Ram Mandir, 370, triple talaq.
Right.
Now there is, except UCC.
So let me open this up, because we also have a member of the Congress here with us who's questioning the BJP, questioning the NDA. But Mr. Kurian, let me ask you, the Congress might be questioning the BJP, but the BJP is questioning itself. It doesn't need your additional questions. It is already questioning itself, which is not the case for the Congress. Where is the Congress questioning itself? Where are the committees? Why doesn't this Chintan, Manthan, etc. fructify in action, in accountability in the Congress? Look, we need a strong opposition. The stronger the opposition, the greater and deeper and broader our democracy, and the more earnest will be the government in power. But the Congress is letting politics down in this country, democracy down in this country.
Good evening, Rahul, to my co-panelists on your debate and to your audience. I appreciate the fact that, you have taken up this topic, the statement that has come from Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief. And also appreciate, I respect Ratan Sharda ji a lot. Being our ideologists, we align with different ideologies, keeping that apart. I respect him as a senior author. And it is really courageous of Ratan Sharda to come out in open and, making it public about the, to introspect and to evaluate their performance with respect to Lok Sabha. It's really appreciable. So I give him a thumbs up on that one. Having said that, the statement that is coming from the RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat, that a true sevak should serve the people without being arrogant, arrogance and being arrogant, and also, and more importantly, maintain dignity. This is something, for those who can read between the lines, this is a bigger and a bigger message for the senior leadership of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Having said that, I also appreciate the fact that, Mohanji has gone on record to say that he calls for resolving Manipur violence, saying everyone should be over poll rhetoric. This is really appreciable of Mohan Bhagwat ji. Although he has come out in open in public domain after a year or so, but really appreciate of the fact that, he's questioning the Bharatiya Janata Party and the top leadership on the top tier to, take cognizance about the Manipur issue, because we all know that, the Prime Minister has still not been to the state of Manipur, and they have lost the Manipur, outer Manipur and inner Manipur Lok Sabha seat as well. So having said that, as a Congress party, we are a strong opposition. We will ensure that, we will live up to the expectations of the people at large. Although the NDA, the India Alliance has got over 40% vote share. So we respect that mandate that has come to us.
No, but
and
you're
also...
one second. First of all, it's brilliant that you are so complimentary of the RSS today, because it seems to serve your purpose. Look at your own boss, Rahul Gandhi. He has nothing good to say about the RSS. He compares it with the Taliban, the ISIS, and God alone, the Muslim Brotherhood, and says awful things about it abroad. So let's not be opportunistic. My question to you is very simple. Aapka manthan kab ho raha hai? When is your manthan happening? Why isn't it happening publicly? Why isn't George Kurian saying today that, look, Rahul Gandhi, you only took us to 99. You didn't win us this election 10 years after Mr. Modi has spent, according to you, messing up the economy, messing up the internal security, messing up the defense of this country, messing up foreign policy, messing up interfaith relations. You still couldn't beat him. Where is the George Kurian asking this question of the Congress? Where are the George Kurians?
Rahul,
I know one person. I asked him to come on the show today, Sanjay Jhaji. He remains suspended. He couldn't find the time, but he would love to have come. The point is, I want to ask you, George Kurian, why aren't you asking a question?
Let me come to that. On many debates, I have said publicly that the Congress party has performed not up to the par. Excellence,
not up to the par. It was thrashed.
With
what are you saying?
Rajasthan,
you said you were going to win. You said khata-khat. Modi is gone. Satasat. Your boss was saying this. Now I'm asking you, sir, why didn't you deliver? And why aren't you asking that question? Are you scared? You said it takes a lot of courage. Why do
Yes.
they take
See,
courage in the Congress system? I thought they are the guardians of democracy.
Well,
It should be encouragement, not courage.
we it's for everyone to know that the Congress party has been in power for this long years, and the mistake that the Congress party has done in the past, which we don't want to repeat, is the same mistake that the Bharatiya Janata Party and the leadership is repeating. So
No,
Ratan Shah,
Mr. Kurian. No, Mr. Kurian, please, let's be honest. Put your hand on your heart. Are you disappointed by the fact that the Congress got 99? Yes or no?
Yes, I mean, we haven't.
No, yes or
lived up
no?
to the expectation. No,
Yes,
it's a
I
no
mean-
because we were.
You're not disappointed. Okay, viewers, end of discussion. That's it. They're not disappointed. 99 for them is 100.
I'm not saying, Rahul, you're misquoting me. I'm not saying we are not disappointed. We have not lived up to the expectation. We were expecting 150
Okay,
plus.
so now I'm asking you,
we
since
have-
you're saying you've not lived up, no, hang on, since now you're saying you've not lived up to the expectation, why have you not lived up to the expectation? What went wrong?
That is for the Congress party to introspect. Because as I
You
said,
see, now that's the difference, viewers. It's very easy to today suddenly start thumping the back of the RSS because it suits your purpose, because Mr. Bhagwat has come across as an internal critic, perhaps, of Mr. Modi. He's saying a lot of things that the Congress would love to say. In fact, the Congress is saying, but it's not asking its own leadership. Now, Ratan Sharda, how do you view this? The Congress is very thrilled by Mr. Bhagwat, by people like you.
See, I am not getting into any tutu meme. I wrote an article 3-4 days before the last phase was over where I said, can we return to sane politics? My idea was what Mohanji has said now, that so much of bitterness I've seen rise in last 10 years on the TV studios, which affects people, impacts the people, and this should stop. That's what Mohanji has said. Mohanji is the RSS chief, is not BJP chief. He's bipartisan most of the time, always making the right point and not pointing at anybody, not checking anybody. I'll just make one point. A.K. Antony wrote a report after 2014 debacle. That report was buried. Finally, Sun also went out. And see, I am not against defectors. Somebody said RSS is unhappy with defection. My point was, when somebody changes side, the person has a obligation to say why he changed side, why he was wrong earlier on. You see Kripa Shankar Singh, you see R.K. Singh, for example. R.K. Singh called BJP, RSS as terrorist organization. Kripa Shankar promoted RSS ki sajish. Did they come back and say, okay, I'm fine, I've changed side, this is the reason I made a mistake? Then it's fine. When you don't go in line with the local cadre who has seen the worst of abuse of RSS and everybody, they're bound to be unhappy.
Well,
when you give ticket to 25% as defectors, that's naturally the voter has punished. Out of 110, 69 lost.
Naturally. What's the difference otherwise? Absolutely.
So
I think, Ratan Sharda, more power to people like you, more power to others in the BJP that are carrying out a dispassionate analysis, and of course the larger ecosystem. Remember, viewers, the BJP hasn't lost this election. It has come short of a mark that it set for itself. And we had all begun to measure it against that mark. Now, that mark was 400 par. It is back in power. The Prime Minister returns for the third time, sets a record in his own name. So, viewers, what the BJP is setting out to do is what most democratic parties set out to do, which is ask the questions so that they can reform themselves and improve themselves so that they are better interlocutors between us and, of course, the issues that we want raised. So, viewers, I'm taking a very short break. When we return, we're going to ask some very, very deep questions tonight on the constant ethnic cleansing of Hindus that is ongoing in Jammu and Kashmir in different parameters. We come right back. Don't go away.
Cylinder, which had reached a non-subsidized cylinder, had reached almost rupees 1100. It was brought down to various stages to about rupees 800 and about rupees 600 for the Ujjwala customers. So a big rebate in LPG prices was given, and this was the Modi government being cognizant to the feedback from the ground that the LPG price had really risen beyond the means maybe of the common man. So cognizant of these concerns, and we saw Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri also in charge, when this whole Ukraine war breaking out, at that time the crude oil prices reaching a new high, how the government has managed that situation to ensure that the inflationary pressure in India is kept under check. So he has a key responsibility. As I say, like Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri getting continuity, he's getting a junior minister in Mr. Suresh Gopi from Kerala. So that would be very interesting as well. We saw him also helping Suresh Gopi take charge as the MOS in the Petroleum Ministry. So it's more of a continuity, I would say, much like other ministers like, Dharmendra Pradhan continuing in the Ministry of Education, or be it Mr. Piyush Goyal continuing in the Ministry of Commerce. In a way, many of these ministers, who have, I would say, the technocrats who were brought into the government, like Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri or S. Jaishankar, the people who were seasoned bureaucrats brought into the political grind of things and made ministers by the Modi government. That experiment has been successful in Modi 2.0, and we are seeing that continuity in that regard happening in Modi 3.0 team as well.
Okay, can you tell our audiences, Aman, let's take a step back as we watch each of these ministers get sworn into their ministries. I just want to ask you a little bit more about what's been happening behind the scenes. So this time the BJP with 240 was not able to cross the halfway mark, but they are in a very, very happy, confident coalition with 293 seats. But tell us, behind the scenes, Aman, has there at all been a reckoning within the BJP of the fact that they fell short of the halfway mark? And could we possibly see a change in any of the messaging over the next few years in the manner in which they run different ministries?
Oh, well, there is serious introspection which is on, Toya. And, even as we're speaking about the new Council of ministers taking charge inside the BJP, there is serious introspection is on, especially in the key states of Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra. What has really gone wrong there? Because in Uttar Pradesh, we have seen BJP lose almost 30 seats. And in Maharashtra, also the BJP has lost heavily. From BJP itself is down to 9 seats from 23 seats earlier. And the coalition, the NDA coalition, is down from 41 to just 17 seats in Maharashtra. Maharashtra also goes to elections very soon in the next 4 to 5 months. So both these states, I think, are at a top concern level for the BJP. What really has gone wrong here? Has the caste dynamic worked against the BJP in UP, and have the Maharashtra, the allies, not been able to pull alongside the BJP with the sympathy maybe lying with Sharad Pawar and the Uddhav Thackeray factions of the NCP and the Shiv Sena respectively? So these are serious concerns, and now we'll also see, Toya, a new BJP president being appointed, so especially after Mr. JP Nadda has now moved to the Union Council of Ministers as the Health Minister. So we have a new BJP president in the offing. Who that person will be amidst these challenges, and also who will be his new team. So there could be new state presidents of the BJP in, for example, in West Bengal, where the state in charge has become the Union Council has joined the Union Council of Ministers. There will be a new state in charge in Gujarat as well. We have a new chief minister.
Viewers, this is a heartbreaking story. In the Islamist hunting ground of Jammu and Kashmir, Hindus have a target permanently painted on their backs. In fact, civilized mores of secular morality and human empathy routinely bow to the will of Islamist obscurantism. Nothing is sacrosanct, and as dawn broke upon the sylvan mountains of Riyasi, dozens of Hindu pilgrims realized this. A hail of bullets crashed into the outer shell of the bus, piercing flesh, cracking bone, and snapping artery. Shot through the chest, the bus driver fell dead. As his limp body slumped on the wheel, the bus careered off the road into the gaping jaws of awaiting death. Several are dead, several wounded. The limp, lifeless form of a toddler, a virtual sacrificial offering to satanic zealots, is yet another cruel reminder of the body politics indifference that is verging on complicity to an unending genocide directed against Hindus in Jammu and Kashmir. Viewers, listen to the survivors recounting their ordeal.
लगातार फायरिंग हो रहा था, 15-20 मिनट लगातार हुआ और फिर बस भी गिर गया था, खाई में गिर गया। उसके बाद भी वो 5 से 10 मिनट फायरिंग लगातार हुआ था। 3 लोग से कम नहीं थे, 3 लोग लगभग थे।
शिवखोड़ी के दर्शन के लिए गया था और दर्शन करके वापस हम लोग आ रहे थे। 2-3 किलोमीटर बस चली होगी, उसके बाद जो है सामने से हमारे फायर होने लगा और तब से फायर चलता रहा और बस हमारी जो है थोड़ी सी आगे जाकर खाई में पलट गई। 5-6 राउंड गिरने के बाद एक बड़ा पत्थर में जो है बस फंस गया।
गोली चलने के बाद में बस जब नीचे चली गई है, गिर गई बस, उसके बाद में तब भी गोली काफ़ी टाइम चला। तो जो रोड पे जब गाड़ी थी चल रही थी तो सामने से फायरिंग हुआ है। ड्राइवर को गोली लग गई थी, पहले तो उन्हीं को लगा, उसके बाद में कई लोग जो कई जो भक्त लोग थे उनको भी लग गया है।
How many more Hindu lives, viewers? How many more Hindu lives? Nothing has changed. And judging by the lack of outrage, nothing will. The murder in Riyasi will soon be forgotten, like January 1990. The absence of outrage on the continuous reign of hate against Hindus in Jammu and Kashmir is a crime in itself. By all means, keep your eyes on Rafah, but also spare a glimpse or two for the other rapacious acts of ethnic and religious violence. If the ecosystem in this country doesn't know where to look, then here's a grim list of hard facts, viewers. They can think about Pakistan, the longest running Hindu genocide in world history. In a particularly revolting instance in 2020, DIG Sindh, Mirpur Khas Division in Sindh, Pakistan reported that over 200 dead bodies of Hindu men, women and children were found hanging by neck on branches of trees and inside houses. The bodies also bear torture marks. This mass killing was a result of attempts to forcibly convert Hindus into Islam. But you don't hear anyone say, quote, all eyes on Sindh, unquote. Do you, viewers? No, you don't. Hard fact 2, Bangladesh. A few months ago, a Hindu was killed in post-poll violence aimed at religious minorities in Bangladesh. He was just the latest statistic in a gory genocide that has been raging and has claimed 11 million Hindus, viewers, many of whom have fled Bangladesh in 40 years. But you don't hear anyone say all eyes on Dhaka, unquote. Do you, viewers? No, you don't. Hard fact 3, Myanmar. A few years ago, Hindu villages in a cluster known as Khamong Sikh in the northern Rakhine state in Myanmar were attacked. 99 Bengali Hindu villagers were massacred by Muslim insurgents from the Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army. The Hindu genocide is the most brutish there. But you don't hear anyone say all eyes on Rakhine state, do you, viewers? No, instead, you are told that we must take in Rohingyas and give them citizenship. And if we say, no, what about the Hindus there? Let's bring in the CA, you're accused of being a communalist, a Hindu fascist. Hard fact 4, Nigeria. Over the years, 62,000 Christians have been murdered in genocide perpetrated by Islamist jihadist groups, including Boko Haram, Islamic State West Africa Province, and Fulani militias. The International Committee for Nigeria refers to this genocide as the, quote, silent slaughter, unquote. But you don't hear anyone say, all eyes on Ovo, unquote, viewers. Do you? No, you don't. Hard fact 5, Nagorno-Karabakh. In the Caucasus, more than 80% of Christians in Nagorno-Karabakh have fled after Azerbaijan and Islamic Republic attacked the enclave linked to Armenia. The genocide of Armenian Christians has stretched on uninterrupted for over a century, but you don't hear anyone say, all eyes on Nagorno-Karabakh. But what you will hear constantly, viewers, is all eyes on Rafah, Rafah, Rafah. From Harvard, viewers, to Hapur. Hard fact 6, California. A recent report released by the California Civil Rights Department, or the CRD, based on the findings of the year-long California versus Hate campaign, revealed that Hindus are the worst sufferers of religious hate crimes. But you don't hear anyone say all eyes on California, viewers. The question is why? Is it because some vested interests only view genocide through a selective political prism? Let's ask that question tonight, viewers. It's about time we do. It's about time we do. And I want to begin with Nilufar Masood of the National Conference. Ms. Masood, it's no good anymore. It's no good just to say in a formulaic way, oh, what has happened is terrible. I want to ask you, why aren't moderate Muslims like you marching in the streets denouncing Islamist terror? Why isn't the civil society that we know in Kashmir exists, and you say it does, that is so conscious of people's right to live, why isn't it out there condemning this hate campaign against Hindus? It's quite clear now that there are direct, targeted attacks on Hindus.
Well, Rahul, I have a problem with this narrative what you are putting or projecting before we people. You are saying that it is hate against Hindu. It's in fact not a hate against a Hindu, and you cannot just religionize it that it is against one of the religions that belongs to Hindus only. It's not like that. See, if you remember an Anantnag episode before 2 days of election, a Muslim couple was attacked by the terrorist, in which one of the husband lost his eyesight. So you cannot say that only Hindus are being targeted. If you go by the numbers, you will see there are Muslims also. In fact, more in number, they have been attacked and they have been brutally killed. So please, I have problem with this when you say that pilgrims are the sons of lesser God. It's not like lesser God or bigger God or larger God. God is one. We believe in this. And I believe that the terrorism that does not have any faith, that does not have the religion.
Okay.
So we should not connect it with one.
So, ma'am, can I ask you a question, a counter question?
It's against the Hindus.
Okay.
Yes, sure.
Can I ask you a counter question? Recently, your own leader, and I respect this statement by him, Mr. Omar Abdullah, came out and commented on the victory of engineer Rashid. And he says an Islamist wave is on the rise. Now, what does he mean by this Islamist wave?
You cannot connect the comment with this, that there is hate against the Hindus. That comment is with respect to the elections. What does this mean,
an Islamist wave?
With respect to the elections only, you cannot say Islamist wave herein means that there is a separatist group who believed in one ideology. They are coming into the elections. It is in perspective of that what he has made the comment. You cannot say that it is against one sect or Hindus that he has made such comment that yes, there exists the Islamic ideology still exists in the Jammu and Kashmir. If we will go by the numbers, I have already said to you that if we will go by the numbers, there have been more Muslims who have been attacked.
This is something that he's being criticized for, Ms. Masood. And I'm sorry, but a controversy erupted after Mr. Omar Abdullah shared a news article on engineer Rashid's win. And many people hit back at him, in fact, and he has been accused of using this term very loosely. Now, and this was Wahid Para.
Let me Ms. Masood
forward.
How you interpret it,
but you're not allowing me.
That is
you're not allowing
depends upon the mind.
You're not allowing me. You're interrupting me. I'm only quoting Wahid Para of the PDP. Extremely disappointed with Omar Abdullah's regressive stance, echoing the divisive politics of 87 and dubbing a democratic expression as an Islamist wave. Now, he clearly means that there is Islamist radicalism that is taking root in Kashmir. That is why he's being criticized. He's not talking about separatist wave. He's used a term. Rashid's victory without doubt will empower secessionists and give Kashmir's defeated Islamist movement a renewed sense of hope. Who are these Islamists against, ma'am? Moderate Muslims, Hindus, people from other faiths, isn't it? Am I lying? Or is Omar Abdullah lying?
See, you're talking about the Wahid Para. He is used to making such comments prior to elections also. He used to make, and he used to generate all these narratives. You can see that he has been talking about 1987.
But you tied up with
repeatedly.
him. But you tied up with him. He was part of the Gupkar alliance. Now, one minute. And you asked for him to be released from jail. You asked for him to be released from jail. No, one minute. Now, viewers, don't let Nilofer Masood today get away with this. Let me tell you who made this statement. It was Omar Abdullah, and this is his quote, and he said, Rashid's victory without doubt will empower...
It has nothing to do with the Hindu hate, how you are projecting.
Let me speak.
It has nothing to do with that.
I beg you, ma'am. I beg you. देखिए, ma'am, आपने हम लोगों को तो घर से बाहर भगा दिया कश्मीर से. अब बोलने तो दीजिए.
Oh, please.
Please, give me 2 seconds.
नेशनल मीडिया पर बात कर रहे हैं, हमने किसी को यहाँ से भगाया नहीं है.
Rashid's victory without doubt. Ma'am, I'm talking about my personal experience.
Jammu
I'm
and
talking
Kashmir.
about my personal
you cannot
experience.
Sit in your cozy
I'm talking
seats
about
and
my
say
own family.
that aapne humko
I'm talking
bataya
about
hai.
my own family.
I
One minute,
am
one minute,
objecting to
one
this
minute,
statement what you are saying.
I am
before
talking about my
national
own
media.
family, ma'am.
You should be very
No,
choosy while using the
we
words.
can speak
You
on the
cannot say
phone.
that आपने
And
हमको
I'll tell you
भगाया
what
है.
happened to
जम्मू
us.
कश्मीर के
One
वासियों ने
minute. Omar
भगाया है.
Abdullah
जम्मू
viewers.
कश्मीर
Omar
के लोग ही
Abdullah.
वो
One
है. They are
second.
carrying
One second.
the
See, she's
pilgrims
going
on
to
their
keep.
shoulders.
This is
They
not
are
right.
giving blood to them.
Ma'am, you
And
can't
you cannot
shout.
just
You
narrate
can't shout
that
me
it
down.
is only the Muslims who are
You
against
can't shout. I'll take
these
a bullet,
Hindus.
ma'am, but you can't shout me down.
There was Kashmir
I'd rather
files
take a
also.
bullet.
You
I'd
are
rather
trying
take
to
a bullet.
trigger that mindset.
I'd rather
which is
take a
against
bullet,
the
ma'am,
Muslims.
but you can't
You are
shout me. You
triggering
can't
that mindset.
you can't cut off my
Rahul,
voice.
You are triggering that
Okay,
mindset.
I'm
which
going
is
to have to
against
lower
the
your
Muslims.
fader, ma'am.
We have
This is
been
not
seeing
right.
how Muslims are
I am quoting Omar Abdullah. I am not misquoting anybody. I'm quoting him. Rashid's victory without doubt will empower secessionists and give Kashmir's defeated Islamist movement a renewed sense of hope. What is this Islamist movement that he's talking about? Let me bring in General Bakshi. No, wait, ma'am. Now you had your say. Let me bring in General Bakshi, sir. What is this Islamist movement, General Bakshi, and who is it aimed against?
Rahul, this is a ghastly attack on Hindus, on Indians, and it has been very precisely timed. 9th of June, when the new government Modi 3.0 was being sworn in, they sent a message to this government, to this nation, right? They opened fire on this bus, they killed the driver, the bus careened off the road into that khud, and when the poor people, the women, the children, the old people, the pilgrims innocent, who had done nobody any harm, they were trying to crawl out of the windows of that bus, these ghouls started firing. And it is only because a number of them, somebody very sensibly told people to play dead, that you have a ghastly count of 10 killed, 42 wounded. They would all have been killed if they had tried to run or escape or tried to save themselves. It's just that they played possum. This is a message sent to Modi 3.0.
No, but how long, General Bakshi? How many more Hindus have to die, and what are we going to do about it? What is the state doing?
That is precisely what I would like to ask the state. Rahul, I am not a member of this state. The simple fact is, even the media ignored this. We were too busy celebrating who got which ministry.
Yes.
We were too busy celebrating who got which ministry. I have not heard a word of regret. I have not heard a word of, some salve to the wounded amor the propre of the people who have been shot up. Nobody cares. And this is what is hurtful, extremely hurtful. I think the nation should now hit back. We have a ceasefire with Pakistan, which is into its 4th year. Why? That is facilitating infiltration. It's no point asking a court of inquiry against the people,
we want to play cricket
the
with
local
Pakistan,
forces
sir.
there.
We want to play cricket with them.
Sir, we should
soon we'll be playing a game of marbles also.
Sir, we should, our medium guns should be opening fire tomorrow.
Yes,
tomorrow, if not tonight.
Well,
and let 10 Pakistani posts be blasted, gutted.
Karan Verma.
The 10 people, Indians who have been killed.
What is the cause?
I'd like to say, and that should be the beginning.
Okay, I'll come back to you, General Saab. Karan Verma, why do you think that people in this country are more bothered about, their gaze is about something that is happening 3,000 miles away in Gaza? All eyes on, Rafah. But there are no eyes on Riyasi. Why? What is going on here?
Rahul, unfortunately, the resilience of the Hindus have become their undoing. Today, Hindus have been guilt-tripped into not raising a voice about the atrocities that they are facing and to just brave it out so that they are not labeled communal. Let me just bust what the NC leader had just said, that, this is not a Hindu thing. There are Muslims also in it. Let me just tell her some facts so that we can put this rubbish to an end. In 2023, there have been 43 terrorist incidents.
This is not rubbish.
43 terror incidents. Hang
this
on
is
a
not
minute now,
rubbish,
please.
what I have said.
Please,
How can you use
please.
this word?
You can
No,
hit
I
back
have
at
to
him.
use this word.
You have a right to put your point
I
before,
have
but
to
you
bust
can't
this
say
propaganda.
that this is
How you
rubbish.
have to
No,
allow me?
I'll have to lower your fader. Ma'am, you can come back and you can take him on. I will not stop you. But let him finish his point. Yes.
In 2023, Rahul, there have been 43 terrorist incidents as per the CID, Jammu and Kashmir.
Yeah.
All the casualties happen to be Hindus. इससे ज़्यादा और आप क्या लोगे? And that has been a trend. Back in the 90s, what did they say? Ralif, Galif, Salif, Hindus leave and leave your women behind. आप चाहते क्या हो? Al-Safa, Hindu हो जाओ दफा. I mean, nothing can be more targeted than this towards one community. And the lady here has the guts to say, oh, it's a problem for every community. No, ma'am. It is Hindus per se who have been targeted. Hindus are suffering. You must raise a voice. Not just Hindus. I'll tell you one more thing. They've even not left the Sufis. They even burnt down the Charare Sharif. You remember that, Rahul? Even the Sufis have been devastated. It is this radical Islamist ideology that needs to be
I
called
want to bring
out.
in a point, and I want to ask, this is a very good point, Karan Verma, on hypocrisy. We are constantly told BJP, for example, is a Hindu nationalist party, hasn't given a birth to any Hindu, any Muslim, no prominent cabinet birth. Can I ask Ms. Masood, I want to ask you, the minority in Kashmir is Hindu, right? Why hasn't a member of the Hindu community been made the chief minister of the state by the NC or the PDP? You tell me. And am I supposed to believe that it is because you people are exclusivists? That's the reason why you've never made a Hindu a CM? When was the last time?
I put you the same question.
No, that's why I'm asking you.
Why a Muslim is not Prime Minister of India today?
Right.
Tell me.
So that's what I'm saying. Viewers, see,
minority
when I ask them a question, they turn it around. No, one second. Yes, Ms. Masood, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right. दिल्ली में सवाल कुछ और होता है. श्रीनगर में अगर मैं आपसे ये सवाल पूछूं, तो आपको प्रॉब्लम होती है. Then you don't want to answer the question. I agree with you.
I'm answering. I'm putting the same question to you.
I agree
Why don't we have the Muslim ministers? Why don't we have the
ask
Muslim cabinet ministers?
I want to ask you a
How
question.
many of them are there existing in the present regime?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Go on counting.
Because, hang on. I'll tell you why. I don't know. I don't have the answer. I can only guess at why.
There is trust deficit.
One second.
There is trust deficit.
How can there be trust deficit,
trust
ma'am?
deficit
No,
by
one second. Arey,
You
bhai,
don't
bolne to
consider
do.
Muslims
When was
as
the
the
last time a
first
Sikh?
citizens of the India?
When was the last time a Sikh a chief minister? When was a Christian a chief minister of Kashmir? I want to ask you, micro minority. When was it?
See, people need to come out
Now,
of their houses.
Nilufar Masood, let me tell you this, that in the Modi cabinet,
When
you
there
have
is minimum
Sikhs, you have
participation,
Christians.
National Conference
One
is the
second,
party which gives
Madam,
mandate
now
to the
you're not
Sikhs
you're
in
not
different
letting.
parts of the
Okay.
Jammu and
Look how I've triggered Miss Masood. Look how I've triggered her. Viewers, this tells you something. No voice from civil society, from the majority community is out there. No petition has been written by 750 intellectuals saying मैं अपने award वापस कर दूंगा. General Bakshi, you're raising a hand. Yes.
Rahul, I think it's time for this government to hit back. It is a slap in the face of this government.
Absolutely.
On the day that they were being sworn in, they have done a large mass casualty terror attack.
Yeah.
We are very lucky that we have just suffered 10 killed. It could easily have been all 52 killed.
Absolutely.
Had one of them moved.
General Saab, I'm telling you, there is a problem.
Not a word I have heard so far, and I'm shocked.
The LG comes out and gives an anodyne statement, viewers. Oh, we regret the death, we regret. Everyone is doing Kadi Ninda. It won't hack it anymore.
And a court of inquiry against the boys there.
There you go. It won't hack it anymore. Listen to General G.D. Bakshi.
The fact of the matter is...
Listen to him. Listen to him.
The fact of the matter is, don't do consequence management on your own side of the territory.
Absolutely.
Don't unnecessarily harass your forces.
But General Bakshi, for you to say this, you know what they'll say? Oh, that you are arguing for a genocide. That's what they'll say. Israeli solution which is basically safeguarding your own land, is today being equated by some woeful characters as calling for genocide. This is how in denial we are. I leave it at this.
It's not genocide when they do it.
I leave it at this.
It's not ethnic cleansing when they do it.
I leave it at this. Let's wrap up the show. Thank you very much, viewers, for watching.
Of the BJP. So obviously a lot of changes in the BJP will be seen, and I think the key concern for the BJP and the top priority of the BJP is now the 3 to 4 state elections which are happening in the next 4 months or so. Jammu and Kashmir is going to go to elections. Similarly, the state of Haryana is going to elections. Maharashtra is going to elections. We will also see Delhi elections at the early next year in January. So all these states are going to be top priority. BJP wants to perform well and not, send out a message that's still very much in the reckoning and hold on to these power in these states. That would be the key for the BJP.
Aman, can we ask you to stay with us? We'll keep returning to you for your analysis. Right now, let's take a look at what each of these leaders had to say. S. Shankar, as he was coming into his position, as he was walking into the External Affairs Ministry, he gave this interview to the press about what his priorities will be. Take a look.
You can see that we began the day of swearing in with a neighborhood first affirmation. कि हमारे जो पड़ोसी जो हैं सब लोग आए और प्रधानमंत्री खुद उनसे मिले परसों. Yesterday I had met individually called on all the visiting dignitaries, and I can tell you they are leaving with a sense that our neighboring relationships will be the first priority, will be the overriding priority of the Modi government, and that is as it should be.
प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को भारत ने एक बार फिर आशीर्वाद देकर देशवासियों की सेवा का जो एक मौका दिया है, उसमें रेलवे का बहुत बड़ा एक रोल रहेगा. आप जैसा जानते हैं, पिछले 10 वर्षों में प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने रेलवे में बहुत बड़े सुधार किए हैं. रेलवे का इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन हो, नई पटरियां बनानी, नए तरह की ट्रेन्स लानी, स्टेशंस का रीडेवलपमेंट, ये 10 वर्षों की प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की बड़ी उपलब्धियां हैं. और रेलवे को एक इसलिए फोकस पे रखा है प्रधानमंत्री जी ने क्योंकि रेलवे साधारण नागरिकों की, आम नागरिकों की सवारी है.
Yesterday evening portfolio allocation finally took place, so we can share with you the details of which leaders have just taken leadership. Because remember, as of just a few minutes ago, each of these ministers have walked into their ministries to take charge for the first time. Now, what were the patterns we saw in the portfolio allocation that took place yesterday evening? The number one biggest pattern, continuity, was the name of the game. So in each of the key ministries, so we're talking about the Raisina Hill ministries, the Defence Ministry, the Home Ministry, the External Affairs Ministry, even the Finance Ministry, you got to see that continuation. The same leaders, the same politicians who'd headed those ministries in the last regime, continuing to head them right now. Now, what are the visuals we're showing you? As we told you a few minutes ago, each of these leaders have just taken charge of their ministries. On the left side,
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narasimhan, coming to you live from the CNN News 18 Federal Bank Primetime Studios. Right at the top of this edition of The Right Stand, let's get you some great news about Bharat. First up, the country's apex industry chamber, ASSOCHAM, has hailed the swearing-in of Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the third consecutive term, saying Bharat would go from strength to strength, gaining further stature in global rankings powered by inclusive and sustainable economic growth for the next several years. ASSOCHAM Secretary General Deepak Sood said that the Indian industry and global investors are feeling reassured of fast and bolder reforms well beyond the economy, touching upon wider governance, quality and also ease of living, and leveraging upon the aspirational young population. Meanwhile, Bharat added